If you were a civilian standing in a ration line in 1942, bread was not a side dish or a convenience food. It was survival. For millions of families across Europe and even parts of North America, bread was expected to provide calories, strength, digestion and endurance when meat was scarce and vegetables were seasonal. What most people don't realize is that wartime bread was deliberately designed to nourish the body as efficiently as possible. Governments, millers and bakers understood something we have largely forgotten today. Bread could either sustain a population or slowly weaken it. That understanding is why WWII bread, especially ration bread, functioned as a true superfood, while much of today's bread is closer to empty filler. Wartime shortages, really forced bread to become much more nutritionally dense than before. During World War II, white flour was actually a luxury, something most people couldn't get their hands on. Milling wheat all the way down to pure white flour meant removing the bran and germ, and that also stripped away fibre, minerals, oils and vitamins. In peacetime, folks kind of tolerated that loss, mostly for the sake of appearance and softness. But during wartime, that just wasn't acceptable anymore. This bread, it delivered complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, fibre for digestion, B vitamins for nerve function and metabolism, and trace minerals like iron and magnesium that were otherwise pretty tough to get under rationing. The goal here wasn't just about taste. The goal was to keep factory workers productive, soldiers' families healthy, and children growing, even with all those shortages. Bread really became a strategic food. Why WWII? Bread supported digestion instead of wrecking it. One of the least discussed advantages of wartime bread was fermentation. Many bakers relied on long fermentation times, often using sourdough starters or slow yeast processes. Modern bread is typically rushed. High-speed yeast, dough conditioners, and chemical additives allow bread to be mixed, risen, baked, and packaged in a matter of hours. How ration bread delivered steady energy instead of sugar crashes. Wartime bread was filling by design. High fibre content slowed digestion, which meant blood sugar rose gradually and stayed stable. Today's white bread is engineered for softness and shelf life, not for endurance. It digests quickly, spikes glucose, and honestly, it leaves people hungry again within an hour. Why did governments treat bread quality as a matter of national security? Well, in Britain, nutritional scientists monitored public health really closely during the war. Bread was fortified naturally by using more of the grain, rather than, being artificially enriched after nutrients had been stripped away. Contrast that with modern bread production, where nutrients are removed, then selectively added back in synthetic form, often in forms the body absorbs poorly. How you can apply WWII bread principles in your own kitchen today. Start by choosing flour labelled whole grain or high extraction, not merely wheat, which often still means refined flour with colouring. Why losing wartime bread knowledge weakened modern diets? After the war, abundance returned, and with it came convenience. White bread symbolised prosperity. WWII bread was not nostalgic or romantic. It was engineered under pressure to keep people alive and functioning. What World War II bread still teaches us about resilience and self-reliance is honestly pretty remarkable. At its core, wartime bread reminds us that food systems reveal priorities. When survival really mattered, bread was designed to nourish, not just to fill a gap. For those interested in preparedness, resilience, or simply, eating with intention, World War II bread offers a blueprint that still works today. If you found value in this deep dive into forgotten wartime nutrition, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who remembers when bread actually filled you up, and help keep this history alive.